Hello. I'm Michelle, and this is the Bookkeeping with a Purpose podcast, the podcast for anyone wanting to learn church finances and how to serve the local church with excellence. I am a church finance consultant, and I am also an enrolled agent who specializes in minister taxes. I have had the honor of helping churches ensure compliance in all areas of their finances, as well as helping ministers with their unique tax status for the last decade. In this podcast, you are going to get the very best advice on how to properly handle all things church finances, payroll, and minister taxes, all with a healthy dose of Jesus. So grab a notebook and pen, my friend, to take some great notes, and let's do this. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope that you noticed and enjoyed. We got some Christmas music going on. Christmas music is my favoriteest music of the whole year, and so we're going to do some little jingle bells till we get to the end of the year, so I hope that you enjoy that. So with this being Thanksgiving week, this podcast is titled Thanksgiving More Than Just a Holiday, because it is. Thanksgiving needs to be a lifestyle, and I just actually finished watching a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving for the first time this year. Usually by the time of Thanksgiving week gets here, I've watched it at least 4 or 5 times, but I've just had some other things going on. And the reason I love Charlie Brown is because it takes me back to my childhood and thinking of things that happened. Of course, that was one of the best memories that I have from being a child, from watching TV, is watching the Charlie Brown, the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown, the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving, the Charlie Brown Christmas. It just makes me happy, and it takes me back to a happy time. So one of the things that made my childhood so awesome was my mother. And unfortunately, my mama is not doing well. Mama is currently going through, tomorrow will be her 3rd week of chemotherapy, as she is battling a very mean cancer, and this chemo is being really super mean to her. They told her that they didn't expect her to be really sick a whole lot this time, and unfortunately that is not the case. But even in the midst of the heartache and the sorrow that we're going through with she's got to do this for 6 months. This is only week 3. She's got to do 24 weeks total. There's still things to be thankful for. And that's what Thanksgiving reminds us, is that it is more than just a holiday. And I'm thankful for the memories that I have, being blessed with a mother who loved me and believed in me and gave me a good childhood. Thankful that I'm able to pray for my mama, as I know she prayed for me for years. I now pray diligently for my mama every day. Thankful for my work and what I get to do. Thankful that I get to do this podcast. I've had, it's been a really cool experience doing the podcast, and I hope that I can come up with enough content to do this for many years to come. I think it's been cool. Hopefully it's been helpful. But regardless of what's going on, this year has reminded me that with Mama's cancer and her chemo, and I thought, seriously, people, of all times, you start it 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, which means she's going to be sick for Thanksgiving, she's going to be sick for Christmas, she's going to be sick for New Year's, she's going to be sick for so many things for 6 months. But we still have things to be thankful for. God is still a good God. God is still on the throne. God still has a good plan. Every single day that she wakes up means that she still has a purpose on this earth. And it reminds me that there is always something to be thankful for. So I just want to give you a reminder of 4 things that, regardless of what is going on in your little corner of the world, God sees you and He knows you, and you still have something to be thankful for. Number 1 is, hopefully you are a born-again believer in Jesus Christ, and you are thankful for your salvation, because that is what makes life worth living. that is the greatest sacrifice that has ever been given to us, is the sacrifice that Christ made on the cross for us. So number one, regardless of what's going on in our lives, we are to be thankful for our salvation. Number two is, even though I don't agree with our government, I don't agree with a lot of things that are going on in the United States, I don't agree with the culture changes and stuff that's going on, I am still thankful to live in the United States of America. We still have freedoms where we can worship, we can become entrepreneurs, we can do podcasts, we have, free speech to a degree, but I am thankful to live in the United States. The third thing that we should be thankful for is never take for granted food, clothing, shelter, clean water to drink. It's fall, so temperatures are getting a little chillier. Thank God that we have clothes, nice warm clothes to wear, that we live in a house that has probably way more than just 4 walls and a roof and a floor. But we have multiple rooms. We have heating and air systems. And then we have clean drinking water. I don't do caffeine. I don't do sodas. I don't do coffee. I only do water and caffeine-free hot herbal teas. So to have clean drinking water is such a tremendous blessing. And then number 4 is church. I knew that I loved church, but I never knew how much I loved and needed church until COVID hit and we weren't allowed to go to church. That I will never forget that. I never in my 50 some odd years ever believed that I would not be allowed to go to church. So we need to be thankful for church. And if you don't have a local church that you are a member of, please pray about it and please go find one. As you know, Charles Stanley is instrumental in my spiritual growth. And I'll never forget, he told me one night I was watching his sermon, and in the sermon he says, he's like, thank you so much. We're glad that you watch our program, but you need to go find and be a part of a local church. And I thought, but I don't want to. But then when I did, it changed my life. So I am very thankful for church. So I know this is not a typical podcast, but it is Thanksgiving week and just so many things going on, so many struggles that people have. We've got to remember that as children of the Most High God, we absolutely always, always, always have something to be thankful for. And I am thankful for you listeners. I am thankful for you giving of your time to spend with me each week. Thank you for trusting in the advice that I'm giving, and I absolutely hope that it is being helpful to you. And again, I hope you all have the most blessed and happy Thanksgiving. And remember to always look your best, do your best, and be your best. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for listening today. If this podcast has inspired you or helped you in any way, please do me a couple favors. Number one, if you would leave me a review on Apple Podcast, that would help me tremendously and more than you know in my rankings. And number two, share this with somebody who you think it could be helpful for. And until next week, I hope you have a blessed day. Bye-bye.